Thank you. Let's see, I want to make sure I have this right. Right now, and not only because we are facing a very critical election in my home country, right now we are experiencing what I would call uncanny transition. Our institutions and our systems are broken, institutions of all kinds, institution of governance, of finance, of health, and our dominant narrative, dominant beliefs and values are failing us. Yet at the same time, we're catching glimpses, don't you think, of things that are hopeful, of new ways of being and new ways of doing, but yet we're operating in this old system. And in that system, at least in my country, people and whole communities are living in poverty of epic proportion. And not just financial poverty. I think we as cultural workers understand that it's prosperity that we're after, and that if you're living in financial poverty, and that the majority of the wealth on the planet is in the hands of the few, that most of us are living without hope. We're living without relationship, without connections, and without hope and without relationships. How can we see a different future for ourselves and for each other? Yerba Center for the Arts is located in downtown San Francisco. We're at the heart of it all. We're a multidisciplinary contemporary art center. We have a theater, galleries, a black box space, film screening, a big institution downtown across the street from SF MoMA. Our mission is to generate culture that moves people. Culture, that set of things, the traditions, the stories, the values that drive community. And it is culture, in our opinion, that precedes change. It is cultural shift that will lead to the kind of change that we need in the world. And we are calling institutions of all kinds all over the world to be the instigators of this kind of institutional reinvention that we need as a society. It's culture that leads the way. It is our cultural institutions that will ignite the kind of radical transformation that we need. We are, after all, the organizations that exist in order to inspire the collective imagination, right? To bring people together of all kinds to make change. Our vision at YBCA is a community that thrives on inspiration. Again, to be inspired is to see the future. And if too few of us have the capacity and the ability to slow down and think about what the future can be, then whose future will it be? We strive to be the creative home for citizens of all kinds, the creative home for civic action. And this goes to something that Lynn mentioned earlier. Our idea is that it's going to take all kinds of people. It's going to take scientists, it's going to take artists, it's going to take creative change makers, and we need to be the places for those people to come together in order to think through what that future can be. How do we do this? We call it a creative ecosystem. And we start by nurturing a culture of invitation. We invite you to participate, and in turn, you invite another. We multiply. This is our programmatic framework, very unusual for a contemporary art center of our size that's multidisciplinary. Rather than top-down curatorial programming, we start every year by naming the YBCA 100. This is the list of the 100 people who are most inspiring to us as an organization. Now, it started internally based on the idea that we need to democratize curatorial structures, that it can no longer be that 1, 2, 3, 4, however many lead curators are the only people who can tell us in the world what is great, what is creative, what is inspiring. So we thought, let's ask the staff. Let's ask the couple of hundred people who work at YBCA, who are amazing people, many of whom are young, many of whom are artists, serving on boards, working in communities. Who inspires you? Who are the people that are interesting you in your everyday work? The first list that we made was so good that we realized we need to make this a public process. So the YBCA 100 list is announced every year. Then we have a summit called the YBCA 100 Summit, and we just had it on Saturday night this year, and we bring together as many of the list makers as possible. Now, these are creative people of all kinds. They could be uber famous. Beyonce is on our list this year, so is Steph Curry, and they could be people that you may have never heard of. They might be activists, they might be engineers, they might be artists. We bring the list makers together, and over the course of a day with our stakeholders, we had about 500 people this year, we asked the list makers to tell us, what are the questions that are keeping you up at night? What are the questions that are driving your work? And then together, we work with those questions to determine what questions should shape the work of YBCA. Out of the day, we aim for 3 questions. Last year's summit, we came out with, can we design freedom? What does equity look like? And why citizenship? We then commission artists, performances, exhibitions, artist residencies, work in community, and we also have a fellowship program. At any one time, we'll have 90 fellows, open call, 3 different groups, 30 fellows each, working on those questions. They come together every month for a year, and they make things. And those things might be policy, they might be new ventures, they might be new art projects. We incubate those, and we look for the best ideas in order to figure out what we want to support. And so, to borrow a phrase that Lynn also used, we are a cultural incubator. We are looking to prove that arts organizations can incubate the greatest ideas and can set them free in the world to social impact. And I'm going to tell you about one of those after this. Whoops. Maybe play the video for me.
Welcome to Yerba Center for the Arts. I want you to consider the life cycle of a question as nurtured by a cultural incubator. Our job here is to make social incubators for creative change.
We need more and different kinds of people gathering around those deep poetic questions.
Pretty much the most important part of what we're going to do today is going to be the moment where we turn it over to you.
We invite you to participate, and subsequently we ask you to invite others.
A question comes into your head, a problem comes into your head.
What happens when we don't change hearts?
How does the body wear trauma?
What is it that you really believe that the institution needs to be in order to be viable, a viable entity in the society in which it serves?
How do you break through the shutdown, the disembodiment, the disengagement that happens?
How would curbing food waste better prepare us to face the challenges of climate change?
The job of the artist in this day and age is to put people into positions where they can actually feel and experience in their own body what you're trying to communicate.
If we don't change us, we don't change the world.
Who do we need to be?
This year's summit sold out before we went public with it, telling us that people are hungry. They want to feel like they're part of a cultural center, that they're part of home. And we ask ourselves, public benefit institutions, many of which are large, are operating in prime real estate in cities all across the world. What is your purpose? Why are you there? And what is better in the world because of it? And I like to think that the YBCA 100, cultivating an idea that we can be that place where we can come together, grapple with very difficult things, and move the dial, makes us a more useful institution. And I will tell you, just as an aside, that when I left on Saturday to head to the airport, we had just finished a conversation with 2 of the founders of Black Lives Matter among our list makers this year, Alicia and Malachi Garza, and it was just one of the most intimate, moving, and beautiful conversations that I have ever experienced. And that's what I think happens in an art center today. So one example of how we are incubating towards making social impact and making change. We ask the question, who gets to design the future of urban life? And in the course of discussing that question, we came up with an idea, the Market Street Prototyping Festival. So in anticipation of a major, once-in-a-lifetime redo of our main thoroughfare, Market Street, from the waterfront in San Francisco to our Civic Center, a 2-mile stretch, we said, what if the people get to design it? What if we can change the culture of planning in a city so that citizens of all kinds who are using those streets every day can imagine the future of those streets and imagine the future of public life and public imagination? So we did an open call for proposals. Over the last 2 festivals, we've got well more than 300 ideas. We jury those ideas. We chose 50 for the first festival and 30 for the second. We pair all of the artists and designers up with leading design firms, Gensler, Autodesk, the Exploratorium, California College of the Arts. We support their prototyping. They put the projects down on the street for a 3-day festival. Millions of people engage. We're meeting the people where they are. We're asking them, what do you want to see in your street? What makes you feel more inspired when you're moving through your day? And what role can artists, designers, and creative people play in helping to instigate public life that is inspiring? Pianos on every street corner. I will tell you now, if you haven't experienced this in a city, you would be amazed at how many people that you walk by every day and you would never know are extraordinary piano players. I never walked by a piano without someone not playing on it and playing beautifully. Never. Or glimmer, the opportunity to use light and color on the street and to create human scale interaction. Children playing on the street. In a city like San Francisco, the majority of our open space is not parks, it is not green, it is literally the sidewalks and the streets. And in neighborhoods like this, Central Market, there are many, many children who live there, but you would never know it because they have no place to play. Making and mending on the street. This was an opportunity for you to get something fixed, to lend something, to take something new. Dancing on the street. This is Alonzo King Lines Ballet, one of the great choreographers living in San Francisco today, and his young dancers showing us what it's like to dance on the street. And this, another project called Prism, playing again with light and sound and the idea that even a large street can create intimate spaces. Chime, we had plenty of musically interactive and very exquisitely interactive music projects. Places to lounge. This one was one of my favorites. This is called Vote with Your Feet. So real-time tweeting, questions up, and the questions shift on the top. And this particular question, I don't know who that guy is, but the question is New York City or San Francisco, and he's clearly going through the wrong one. But the questions range from the highly political. Yes, there was a Trump versus Hillary, but they're to the more fun. This one is a pop-up forest, beautiful pop-up forest, again on Central Market where there is absolutely no green space. This one encourages collaboration, people who don't know each other. You have to sit together to make it rock. And this, we supported a couple of community cohorts. So the idea here being that the word prototyping, an open call for design ideas might appeal to only certain people who already consider themselves to be designers, but our real aim is to engage people of all kinds. It is to say that you can make a difference in your street, even if you feel like your voice is not important. And so we put together community cohorts with leaders from stakeholders in neighborhoods so that we could be sure that residents, children, seniors, others could be part of design, and then we supported the fabrication of their ideas. This one was about your mood and colors and moods. What we learned about this one is that the balls get very hot in the sun and they stick together. But it was, again, this idea of just color and interaction and the opportunity to communicate with other people about how you're feeling, people you would never otherwise engage with. So I will end on this, and I'll let you play it first, and then I'll... I almost want it one more time, but a little louder. Don't you think? One more time, but a little louder. Can we do it? So I think you guys are on to my little trick here, which is when I'm not feeling very happy, I play this video. So depending on how things go today, we might all be needing to play this video. But so what we're saying at Yerba Buena Center for the Arts is that we need to unleash our creative assets. The world needs creativity, inspiration, imagination. We need to turn the resources of all of our arts institutions to the project of reinvention. We are the field that can do it, and we have to. Thank you. I'll keep it.